Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. And I got to start with this from you today. Ripple scam alert issued. What it concerns. And this time, it's David Schwartz pointing out that this is a scam. You see it right here. This is that AI video of Brad Garlinghouse talking about doubling your XRP bag. That is never going to happen. This is a blatant scam. And you see these videos all over YouTube. You see them all over X now as well. And there is no XRP airdrop. I stress that. These people are trying to steal your crypto. And stop talking to the bots in the comment section. I'm not going to send you a WhatsApp number or interact with you in the comment section. I want to get rich with all of you. I can't get rich with you if you end up losing your crypto. Anything that sounds too good to be true, guess what? It's too good to be true. And it's Sunday, so I figured I would talk about this. This comes from Pumpius. Now, I've heard of a lot of different XRP predictions over the years. This one is over the top. So he starts out with the first principle. XRP is not a coin. It's a liquidity engine designed to carry global value. Its price isn't hype. It's the function of how much liquidity demand flows through it. So scenario 1, Ripple banking license, OCC. Ripple becomes a U.S. national trust bank. Custody, stablecoins, treasuries, tokenized real-world assets. Possible XRP price, $50. That is very easy to get to. Scenario 2, corporate adoption. Apple, Amazon, Tesla, Microsoft treasuries plus suppliers move to the XRP ledger. Possible XRP price, $100. Also obtainable. Scenario 3, global banks, $6.6 trillion daily in correspondent banking flows. Possible XRP price, $1,000 plus. Scenario 4, central banks plus CBDCs could get us to price of $10,000 plus. I think we could get there, but I think scenario 4 and 5 have to merge together. Capital markets, global securities equal $100 trillion plus. Bonds, stocks, ETFs tokenized. XRP ledger DEX plus issued currencies. Massive liquidity needs far beyond FX. He says that's going to get us to 100K. But I think scenario 5 and scenario 4 together would get us to about $10,000 plus. Then he talks about DNA protocol and scenario 7. So this would be full tokenization of humanity, real estate, derivatives, everything would be a tokenized asset. Possible XRP price, $10 million plus. Then it goes off the rails. Cosmic settlement layer. This is scenario 8. XRP, not just for Earth, but for interplanetary trade. Think SpaceX, Mars colonies, energy credits, carbon markets, orbital resources, all tokenized. Genomic anchoring ensures human identity across the stars. Possible XRP price, $1 billion plus. Now, I once said no price point for XRP is off the table, but $1 billion per XRP, in my opinion, is definitely off the table. I do believe, though, we will eventually see XRP as a 5-digit asset. If it goes to 6 digits, that's also possible. We don't know what scarcity and demand looks like yet. We would have a better idea as that is happening. But for now, I would probably cap XRP somewhere around 10K. That's if everything comes together that we're expecting to happen over the next couple of years. I am a proud sardine. Where are you on the Flare Rich list? So now we have the Flare Rich list. This was just dropped as well. And I told people in multiple videos, while Flare is still sitting at 2 cents, you should pack a decent bag of Flare. You will not regret it. The only regret you will ever have in the future is not stacking Flare at all. Everybody should be buying this asset because I'm telling you, as Flare continues to build out and advance, it is going to hit some decent price points. And people are going to be talking about Flare most likely even more over the next year or two as the price starts to rise. But I would not do this. Every day, there are more XRP holders realizing they can maximize their profits by rotating into Flare. Flare has more utility, 150 times smaller market cap, institutional adoption, Ripple support, and backing. I would never tell you to sell your XRP and buy Flare. Instead, buy Flare with new money. Don't sell your XRP to buy Flare. I'm telling you right now. XRP is going to hit some crazy price points. Flare will also. But I think Flare, it's going to take a longer period of time. It does have a decent return on investment, though, in this run. The Foreign Board of Trade registry won't bring offshore crypto exchanges to the U.S. So the Foreign Board of Trade framework is designed for legacy financial system and is a poor fit for cryptocurrency exchanges. Now, this is coming out after the CFTC just announced the other day that they're going to bring offshore exchanges onshore to the United States and give people in the United States access to these offshore exchanges. Here's the way I look at it. Until they figure all of this out, I would not hold any crypto at an exchange that's offshore. Most likely, they're not doing KYC or AML. Most likely, they will not pass regulations when they come. So those exchanges are going to fold up anyway, and most likely, you will end up losing your crypto. But I think it's going to take a bit of time for the CFTC to figure this one out. I think they were too quick with that announcement. I think this is something that will have to be put in place over time. Faraday Future announces EV and crypto strategy update. Now, they don't mention which cryptocurrency that they're going to be doing this with, but I wanted to get ahead of this before all the Bitcoin maxis say they're going to put all this money into Bitcoin. Faraday Futures sets aggressive $5 to $10 billion crypto investment goal. Faraday Future plans to host an event unveiling major updates at its Los Angeles headquarters. This includes presentations on the FX Super One electric vehicle and the innovative C10 cryptocurrency index. Executives will announce critical milestones in both electric and crypto strategies. So I like the idea of where this is going. I just want to see what cryptocurrencies they end up choosing, because right now they just said digital assets, but they didn't say Bitcoin, which usually if it's going to be Bitcoin, they would say Bitcoin. Because the whole narrative is Bitcoin is not a cryptocurrency. It's something else. It's something on a superior level to cryptocurrency. But you see how all of these companies are getting interested in crypto now. This is showing you that where crypto is going. You know, when they want to create treasuries around crypto and they want to get invested in crypto, that's the future. Because everybody wants to get ahead of the next guy when it comes to crypto, ahead of their competition. Will there be a major XRP price dump? Wealth Builder shares opinion. Now, I just talked about a possible dump in a video yesterday. This was the actual clip coming from Jake Claver. Take a listen.
Do you think XRP's price can dump one more time? I would love it to. I don't think it's going to happen. I know everybody wants to, when it was 50 cents, nobody wanted to buy it. They were like, that's garbage. No, everybody hates XRP, blah, blah, blah. And then when it gets to $2, everybody wants to go back to 50 cents. You had 3 years to buy it at 50 cents or 30 cents or 40 cents or whatever it was. It ain't coming back. I'm sorry to tell everybody. Like, she's up. She's got volume. It's going to be sustained here because of the ETFs, because of the TWAP and VWAP and them entering the market. They're not letting it come back down, but we were already seeing it come back down if it was going to. There's a bunch of stuff that drove up and then it's back down 90% since it went up. XRP hadn't done that. It's back on the line here where there's been support on the Bitcoin and XRP chart. I think it's up from here, especially if Bitcoin keeps going up from here. It's only up for here for XRP. And if we do see, these other catalysts, like I've been talking about with the reverse carry trade and, adoption for the back end settlement of the stock market and these ETFs, you're not going to care if you bought it at $2.30 or you bought it at $2.40 or you bought it at $2 when it's $100 or $200 or $500. Like, I know everybody wants the most they can get on stuff, but dollar cost averaging is going to be your best bet 99.9% of the time. When you have some extra liquidity, buy a little bit. Don't leverage yourself or over leverage yourself to the point where you can't make your bills or can't pay other stuff. But if you can invest some and you can dollar cost average into a market, that is the way to do it. Trying to time the market, you're not going to do it. Like it's like 1% of traders that ever time the market well. And those that dollar cost average in, you're going to win. Like you can't lose doing that. You're going to get highs and lows, but your average is going to be pretty fair.
And that's what I've been telling you this entire time as well. Everybody wants to see XRP back under 50 cents or even around 50 cents. It's just not going to happen. If it was going to happen, it would have happened by now. Because even with these corrections, we're not seeing what people are calling for. Even with the last correction, everybody said, here we go, we're going down to $1.85. We didn't even come close to $1.85. I think we dropped to $2.75 before XRP rebounded once again. I think 50 cents is gone forever. And he is right. You're not going to care if you're buying at this price right now, because this is still a very undervalued price for XRP compared to where it's going. And Jay Claver even said, if all the catalysts play out, we're looking at a $1,500 to $2,500 XRP. I think short term, I think we'll probably see 589. Once XRP crosses $589, that's going to be like the biggest psychological event to happen to XRP holders, because people even believe that 589 is programmed into XRP, but eventually it'll break above that price point as well. Let's just get to $5.89 first. But this market, once it goes, nobody's going to care if they bought at $3. Nobody's going to care if they bought at new all-time highs, because this is going to be the run that shocks everyone. Even the people that absolutely hate XRP, they're not going to be able to contain themselves. They're going to have to talk about it. BitMEX has announced that new quarterly futures for Bitcoin, ETH, and XRP, etc., are coming to BitMEX, scheduled to begin trading next week on September 9th. So this could also bring some volume to XRP as well. I always like when they announce new products around XRP, because that just brings in more investors. And even over time, more and more investors continue to onboard. The closer we get to the implementation of ISO 222, the more strange things will happen. Blackouts, cyber attacks. They need an excuse to justify the new financial system. Be ready. All planned. What do you think of that post coming from Unknown DLT? I read that and I thought to myself, we were always told about the cyber attacks and the blackouts. And then as the system comes back online, the rise of the new financial system will begin. But multiple international subsea cables were cut in the Red Sea. You know, every time something happens where it disrupts the internet, even if it's in one spot, right away, people in the XRP community always go back to what they've learned over time. What has the World Economic Forum told us all along? There's going to be cyber attacks. There's going to be power outages. Global events are going to happen. And then we get the new financial system and the rise of the Phoenix. But this is also going to happen as well. And this is going to happen way before 2030. Take a listen to this guy, Jason Calacanis. He was a big investor in Uber early on. Take a listen to what he says about AI replacing factory workers and all drivers.
So the superintelligence is where things could get really nutty. And we're already starting, and that's where like the doomsday scenarios, Terminator ones kind of come out of that group. So what happens if, all drivers go away? Well, every self-driving car is 4 full-time jobs, and every humanoid robot in a factory is 5 jobs, maybe 6, because those jobs you can work for maybe 7 hours as a just physical limitation. As humans, we're driving, you can work a 12-hour shift. And those are going to be here, folks. And before 2030, you're going to see Amazon, which has massively invested in this, replace all factory workers and all drivers. The idea that when you order something from Amazon, a human would touch it at any point in that supply chain is insane. It will be 100% robotic, which means all of those workers are going away. Every Amazon worker, all those jobs, UPS gone, FedEx gone. All of those are going to be gone, and those companies will be more profitable. And when you order something, it's going to come faster and cheaper and better. And your Uber will be half as much, but somebody needs to retrain these people. And that's actually a very valid fear that technologists will tell somebody like you, don't worry about it. There'll just be more jobs created. Yeah. The question is, what happens to those people who get caught in the gap, right? And when we had this happen in the Industrial Revolution, that happened over 40 years, 50 years. And, the agricultural revolution, again, that was multi-decades. This one will happen in a decade. And so it'll be very different. And yeah, you should be concerned. So the superintendent.
You definitely should be concerned about AI, but you're an XRP investor. By the time this happens, you should already be retired because you invested in the right cryptocurrencies. If you're buying utility-driven cryptocurrencies, you will be living off passive income instead of universal basic income, because that's what they're going to give to the people that lose their jobs because of AI. And this is going to happen before 2030. I think by 2028, everybody's going to see robots in the workplace. By 2029, most people are not going to have a job where they have a job today. And it's not just Amazon doing this. It's grocery stores leaning in this direction. It's going to be Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart. They're all going to go in this direction. Why? Because they're going to save so much money. AI doesn't call off when they're sick. They don't take off on holidays. AI will work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The only thing that the AI needs is new batteries being charged, and they could just continue to run day and night. And they are going to replace multiple jobs. One robot will replace 2 or 3 different jobs. And that's what most people see coming. But a lot of people think this is still decades out. We are in the 4th Industrial Revolution. The 5th Industrial Revolution already began. The rise of AI is the 5th Industrial Revolution, and they're colliding together. The good thing is you're holding the robot money. Crypto is the robot money. When machines are paying other machines, they're going to be paying using crypto. They're not going to be using fiat. They're not going to be using digital dollars. They're going to be using cryptocurrencies because that's what would make the most sense. But you'll be retired by the time this happens. And until it does happen, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.